Today we are doing the Icelandic Bind Off. This is a bind off that is a great use when you need a stretchier edge than a regular bind off. It's also a bind off that a lot of people like to use for garter stitch. In terms of its appearance, it's a good match for a garter stitch. I have a stockinette swatch here I'm going to show you on today, but you can do this bind off on any stitch pattern you'd like. All right, so you start this bind off by working the first stitch in the row normally as a knit. And the bind off itself is 2 steps. The first step is to slip the stitch you just worked back onto the left needle, and then go into it again as if to purl. And you're going to go grab the stitch, the second stitch, as if to knit, like you're knitting it. And so what I just did is pulled the second stitch through the first, and you see this X that's created. You're going to be watching for that X. You're going to create that X every single time you make a stitch. Now that I have that X, I'm going to wrap my needle with my working yarn and pull my new stitch through right under the X beneath the crossing stitches there and slide off. And that's 1 stitch bound off. So step 1 is to slip the stitch back over purlwise, go back into it, grab the second stitch, you create the X, knit that, come out at the base of the X and slide off. I mentioned that this bind off was fast, and that's because you can combine the 2 steps into one. So far we've been slipping the stitch back onto the left needle, going back into it to work like this. You can speed this up by, when you stick this back on your needle, don't even come out with your right tip, just go straight into the second stitch like that. And it really speeds things up. So I'm going to slip this stitch back over, keep my right needle tip in, go right into that second stitch as if to knit, make the X, pull the new stitch through and off. I've got 2 stitches left on the left needle. I'm going to do that one the same way. 1 stitch left, do it in the same way, make that X, go underneath and bind off. And now that one last stitch, you're going to treat that like you would a regular bind off. Come here and clip the edge and pull that through. And that's the Icelandic bind off. Here we got a little bit of stretch to it. It creates a nice firm edge and does resemble slightly a purl ridge or a garter stitch ridge on each side. Sort of see what it looks like on reverse stockinette and stockinette there.